your damage. Joe Reichel is here to tell you what to do.
How to control that damage.
Boy, Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
You looked pretty sleepy a little while ago. You okay?
I think it's the time change.
Oh yes, because it's really in your mind 11:35.
That's right.
Which is nap time.
Yeah, I sat down there on the couch and it was pretty
that couch will do it to you.
It was a comfortable couch.
The couch has done it to quite a few people. I'm sure you heard, right? What happened? You gave up on the mustache?
No, just trying something different, I guess.
Didn't last long.
No, it didn't. I had it 3 or 4 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, I did it for a little while, too, and it went away quick.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned it. A lot of people haven't even noticed it was gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't. Like, nobody. Well, very few people have said, Joe, where's the mustache?
I'll be honest with you. The reason I noticed it was gone, because there was a story this morning that...
About my mustache?
About men's facial hair.
Oh, okay.
That there's poop in it. That when they do...
There's what in it?
Poop. Excrement, I don't know if they meant from animals or from bugs, what it is, but they did this little microscopic tests, and I don't know why that would be, but... So I thought, well, I'll shave it off, too, if I read that report.
I'm glad I didn't read that article. Good morning.
Why? You don't have a beard.
I don't know. That's kind of gross. But.
It is, but it just reminds you to use really hot water when you shower. Just really clean it really good.
Interesting how we are talking about that.
It is. I do have a damage repair question, though.
Okay,
actually.
I'm ready.
It's more of an observation. One thing I guess you always have is something to measure with, correct?
A tape measure.
Yeah. So my steps that lead up to one of the doors in my house needed to be fixed, and well, if you don't measure it, you're going to be too high or too low. You have to measure it.
Typically, that's one thing that in construction is very important, is measuring. And the joke is measure twice, cut once. So, not really a joke, but the saying that goes for construction.
Do you know on Peanuts the little girl who is always giving psychiatric advice? She's got a booth, like a lemonade booth.
Okay.
That's how my stairs were looking. I was not good at this. At building
they
something.
Were looking like a psychiatric booth?
Yeah. I was using the wrong nails and the wrong wood.
Oh, her booth. I got you.
Yeah, my carpentry work was...
Looking like a lemonade stand.
Not only horrible, but probably unsafe to step on. It was not a good staircase.
And that is the importance of making sure that everything is done up to code and by someone who is licensed and insured.
Getting somebody who knows what they are doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And using proper materials. It's always important to make sure that you're using proper materials. And in today's age, a lot of people are liking the whole refurbished look, or the renovated, the old, bring the old into the new. A lot of people are using, for example, pallets. A lot of times, pallet construction and things like that. So,
did you see the town they built out of pallets in the 6-gun territory Reunion?
I didn't see that.
Oh gosh, you got to look online or something. They built this whole like old cowboy town out of pallets.
Neat.
And when I say whole town, maybe 6 buildings, but it was amazing.
Very cool.
It was amazing, and they had the pallets donated by somebody here in town.
So they tore the pallets apart and used the lumber?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it was quite fabulous. And I think they're permanent structures.
Possibly.
I think they're going to stay there.
Possibly.
It's at the Kirby Farm. Do you know the Kirby Farm where the train is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Out in Williston.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where it is.
Very cool. So, a lot of times people are using or wanting to use reclaimed materials like that. And so, you just need to be careful that, you're using it properly. And if it's for structural purposes, it might not be the best use for materials. So it really depends. Speaking of that, I was looking at a house. All the time we get calls from people that are interested in looking at purchasing a new home, or they're in they're wanting a new house, and we go in and take a look at fixing up and doing whatever they want. So we can talk more about that after this phone call.
You have a phone call. Before we take the call, real quickly, let me let everybody know the number. If you want to call, the number is 622-9622. You're invited to call during this show, and you can interrupt us, change the subject. If it's important to you, it's important to us. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Yes, good morning, guys.
Hey, Hugh.
Good morning.
See, one of my rooms in my house is it's a wood floor. I don't know if it's real wood or laminated or what it is, but there's a couple of spots that when you step on it, it goes down, up and down a little bit. Is there any way that I can fasten that down? I know I can't use a nail because there's concrete underneath it, but is there some way that can be fastened down?
What kind of flooring is it again?
Well, it's wood, but I don't know if it's real wood or laminated panels or what, you know.
How big of an area is coming up?
Okay, it's a large bed. The master bedroom, I would say it's 12 by 17.
And the whole area is coming up?
Just a couple of spots, or when you walk on them, they go up and down a little bit. Just a couple of spots. I mean, I don't want to tear the whole thing up. You know, I bet you could do a part of it and then re-glue it or something. But I'm just wondering if there's some kind of a trick or a way that you could secure those certain areas.
Well, without knowing exactly what kind of floor it is, I'm not really sure. You could always close that door and not go in that bedroom. That's an option. But if that's not an option, you could make a small hole. Drill a small hole and somehow try to get some glue in that underneath it. That's a possibility. Okay. or try to separate an area and just pull out pull out the loose board. If it is a board like that, and that way you could be able to get some glue in there and then put it back in. So
yeah, I don't think it's real wood. I think it's like a panel, like a laminated panel,
like a laminate flooring.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And if it's a laminate flooring, it's probably not glued down anyway. So it's probably just floating. If it's a laminate.
You say drill a little hole and maybe try to get some glue in there or something.
Well, if it's laminate, I probably wouldn't do that. I would just probably leave it alone, actually.
Yeah. I know my wife come up with the brainstorm of just rearranging the bedroom, putting the bed over it and everything else, but I don't like the way that would look.
I was just going to suggest that as well. I was going to say arrange the furniture so that it covers those spots.
Yeah, right. But, I'll see if I can't drill and get some kind of glue, and the areas are not large, and there's only a couple of spots.
Sometimes
you're walking all the time,
Right. Sometimes that laminate flooring, if you were to take a utility knife and you can find out and just cut the grooves out, or the how that goes together, it's called like a tongue and joint, tongue and groove.
Yeah.
So if you can cut that tongue out to where it goes into the next one, you'd be able to pry that board out, glue it, and put it back in place. So
okay,
that's another option.
I'll give it a try. If not, maybe we'll have to rearrange the bedroom. I don't know. We'll see.
And if that doesn't work, we can always get pen flooring to come out and
that's the answer.
Put new flooring in there for you.
Now that to me sounds like a more sensible idea.
and then you wouldn't even have to worry about it.
Exactly. I'm going to suggest that to my wife. Maybe she'll agree with me then.
There you go.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
You're welcome.
And isn't that ultimately when the do-it-yourself question is a little bit more than the do-it-yourselfer can do? Find a professional.
That's right.
Right? All right, we'll take a little break. The phone lines are open. If you want to call Joe, the number is 622-9622. If you got a home repair question, you got to try to tackle it yourself. Maybe you need some advice on what tools or what products to use. This is a good time to get that advice. The number is 622-9622. Or if you want a recommendation about a professional who can do it for you, Joe can give you that information as well. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some fog around the area this morning, otherwise partly sunny and very warm again, with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, but probably dry at the coast. The high 87 to 91. Mainly clear tonight. Well, there may be some cloud and a shower in spots at the coast. Low 69, inland 75 along the coast. For tomorrow, partly sunny with a passing shower or thunderstorm. The high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Immerse yourself in a creative blend of art, music, and culture at the 34th Annual Downtown Festival and Art Show, November 14th and 15th in downtown Gainesville. Explore a stunning collective artwork by 240 artists and marvel at world-class paintings, vivid photography, unique sculpture, dazzling jewelry, and so much more. Enjoy continuous entertainment on 4 stages all weekend, including a downtown blues concert on Friday night. Plus, bring the kids for free art activities at the Children's Imagination Station. For more information, call 352-334-ARTS.
12 minutes before 11 o'clock, 85 degrees. It's almost like summertime. Feels it in here anyway. Joe Reichel is here, of course, to answer your do-it-yourself home repair questions. It feels it happens every year, though, doesn't it? It gets cold, and then we get a false...
Summertime again?
Yeah, we have a false feeling that, hey, we're going to be like the rest of the country and get cool, but it just doesn't work out that way.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Usually
we started talking about... what were we talking about? New houses or new homeowners that are looking at homes to fix up, maybe even in their own house. A lot of times we get phone calls, homeowners that they're in the market, they want to purchase a house. Last week I went and looked at one. It has some substantial damage to the exterior of the house. Before they wanted to put an offer on it, they wanted to make sure that, you know, what all is it going to take to fix this house, and is it going to stay within their budget? So I was able to go through that with them and give them an idea. Really, this is just an idea, because a lot of times you don't know how extensive the damage is, especially if it's an older place and there's some termite damage or whatnot. You have no clue. Sometimes even, you know, the water damage as you're looking at it, a lot of rotten wood, things like that. You don't know the extent until you start taking it apart. But, you know, still there's that. You know, an idea that we can give them by looking at it and going through the project. Just this morning, I did walk through another house, given an idea of where all the money will need to be spent in order to fix it up and do what they have in mind for it. So that's kind of a neat side point to what we do as far as going in and start to finish, from the idea phase and what it's going to take, putting that into play, and then the final result is a house that they can live in or use as an investment property or whatever.
Do you ever I'm sure I'm going to assume you have seen these extreme home makeover programs. What are your thoughts on that? Are we getting a good picture of us who are not skilled at that, or are we? Because it takes place in the course of an hour, I guess.
And that's the whole downside to all of that. They are great because it gives you an idea throughout the project. You can go look at different projects or different materials that they use and get different ideas. They are absolutely great for that. And you get to see people's skill set in action.
Right.
I love that. The part that I don't like about those type of shows is that it gives homeowners the idea that anything is possible, that it's all going to take place in a half hour, right. Or very quickly. You don't see the behind the scenes part of it. You don't see the meeting with the architect, the engineers, and getting the plans part of it.
Yeah.
You don't see the permitting side of it.
Oh, right.
Submitting for permitting. You don't see the building officials coming and checking to make sure that the work is done. You don't see all of the things the things that need touched up after they're in and out in a quick period of time, because there's really no possible way. A lot of these homes, a lot of these projects are designed for, let's just say they're gone for the weekend and they fix everything up.
Yeah.
There's no possible way to do all of that in a weekend and get it all done.
But they
with
do
quality work.
But they have a ton of people helping them.
Well, they have a ton of people helping them, and at that point too, you have so many people in there that makes it difficult to get everything done. And you're still sacrificing quality for the time. That's my thought on it.
And I've often thought that's probably what somebody like you thinks when you watch that. But even a guy like me who doesn't do it, I say, okay, well, so they. But
it's great, and and that's where different. I'll just use Houzz for an example. Houzz, HOUZZ.com. It is a great avenue for homeowners to go in and look at different pictures, different projects. You can pick if you want to look at bathrooms, if you want to look at just tubs. Or faucets, different fixtures, sinks, whatever it is, or you can look at the whole project. You can look at homes, you can look at individual rooms, you can look at outdoor projects on this website, Houzz, HOUZZ.com, and get different ideas of what you want to do for a project or how you want to make a room look. The only problem with that is it doesn't necessarily give you a cost. Sometimes there are prices on there, but that's for the materials. It doesn't give you all the installation and whatnot. And pretty much if you have a project, you're typically not starting with a naked room. You're starting with if you want to change things out and sometimes move plumbing around, and so there's added costs there. Plumbing, electrical, air conditioning, whatever it is that doesn't get accounted into it. Then you also have the behind the scenes, the permitting prices and the
that's the part you don't know about,
right?
And when something goes wrong, and usually there's always something that goes wrong. I mean, the skill to be able to correct the mistake, whether it was your mistake or just
right,
who knows what happens.
Well, I was talking with a builder yesterday, and we were talking about the differences between a $300,000 to $600,000 home. Building a new home, $300,000 to $600,000 price range. What the difference is between building one in that price range versus building the $1 million home. Besides some time.
Yeah, really. What is the difference?
Well, besides the time.
Just more stuff.
There's typically your $1 million home is a little bit larger, and it's going to take a little bit more time, but you still have all the same amount of work to go into it. All the same amount of behind the scenes, behind the scenes you have the pricing and getting everything lined up, the permitting costs the same, all of that is the same, you just have a little longer construction time going into it.
Makes sense. And getting back to those shows, when you look at it and they say it took one weekend, and I guess they're telling you the truth. I've often wondered about paint and concrete and things that need to dry. Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes it takes a while for things to dry.
And there's things that you can do to speed some of that up as far as paint. I mean, you go in, you put your fans or heaters in, and you can, speed it up somewhat. But, there's still time that needs to happen.
But there are some shows, not the extreme.
And that's, for us, for example, we'll never do less than 2 coats of paint. I mean, that
makes sense.
A lot of times these places are using a primer, a pigmented primer. So it's a paint and a primer, one shot, you're done. So, that's another option.
An extreme makeover on an entire home is one type of a show. The other show is the guy who's fixing the dresser or fixing the broken hole in the wall.
Right.
Those guys, is that more realistic, those shows? Because they're not...
Well, those have their place too.
They also make it look really easy. They make it look like anybody can do it.
Well, and you can pretty much if you have that, the time and the skill set.
Yeah.
And the interest in doing it.
I guess the interest, yeah.
I don't want to do furniture.
No, I don't do that.
But, a lot of times people, to fix a drywall patch, to patch some drywall, I can do that. I'm not going to be able to make the texture look good, but I can fix the patch.
We have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Yes, how you doing this morning, Joe?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
All right, sir. Going into building a home, and a lot of people don't know about, especially the person that is getting the home built.
Right.
How do you know, you're going to get, all the quality stuff that you need inside the home if you don't know, this is supposed to be a different type beam here, a this go there? Could you hire an inspector behind their inspector?
Well, you can, but typically with a home construction, you don't necessarily have to do that. As you're, making sure that the quality of the house is built, pretty much all of that will be spec'd out on the plans.
Okay.
As far as what needs done and the different types of materials, connections, connectors, and beams and stuff like that. If it's not built according to the plans, then your building inspector is going to turn that down. But at the same time, if it's spec'd out on the plans a certain way, whoever's building your home, whoever you have building it, whatever phase it is, if you're just let's just say you're not using a contractor as a homeowner, you're doing you're building it yourself, but you're hiring different people to come in there and do that. They're supposed to be pricing it out according to whatever's on the plans. So, if that's where typically you've just got to make sure that whoever you have doing the work is using whatever's spec'd out on the plans.
Okay.
Pretty much your architect and engineer, architect, whoever you've got building or designing your project, that's the one who would be making sure that everything is going according to the codes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I hope that helped.
Yes, it did. Thank you, sir.
Wow, I'm already out of time.
Unbelievable, huh?
Wow.
Goes fast.
Fastest half hour of my day.
It's like the home makeovers. They go really fast.
They go really, really fast. So if you have any other questions, comments, need some help, feel free to give me a call. You can get one of our magnets. Joe Reichel, Joe at damageflorida.com, all spelled out. Or you can call me 352-817-6574.
Very good. Thank you, Joe. Always fun. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM.
Fox News Radio. I'm William Wu, the new Speaker of the House, holding his first media availability.
I really truly believe that the next handful of years will determine what kind of country we're going to have for a long time.
Republican Paul Ryan saying it's important to advance their principles and get things fixed. On Election Day, voters in Ohio deciding on whether to become the first Midwestern state to legalize the recreational use of marijuana.
Now, those against recreational marijuana say it's dangerous and will become an extreme burden, especially to employers who might assume a liability with an impaired worker. But pro-pot advocates argue that it will create up to 30,000 jobs and keep the money in the state instead of sending it to black market hotspots like Mexico.
Fox's Matt Finn. A rival ballot measure could kill the law before it takes effect. And Fiat Chrysler reporting October sales rose nearly 15% as the industry sales boom accelerated. Fox News, we report, you decide.
As a Ford employee, I get to give my friends a special deal.
Announcing Ford Friends and Neighbors pricing. It's an inside deal, now for everyone.
Just log on to Ford.com, and the low price you see there, that's the low price you'll pay.
On cars, trucks, SUVs, every nameplate.
Like the super stylish Ford Fusion, the built Ford Tough F-150.
And our awesome lineup of SUVs that make it easier for you to be unstoppable.
With Ford Friends and Neighbors pricing, you don't have to negotiate. It's hassle-free.
So now when people ask me if I can get them a great deal because I work for Ford, with Friends and Neighbors pricing, they don't have to ask anymore.
That's because now for a limited time, you can get in on Friends and Neighbors pricing at your participating Ford dealer.
This really doesn't happen every day.
Ford Friends Neighbors pricing.
It's an inside deal, now for everyone. Available at participating dealers only. Take new retail delivery from dealer stock by 1/4/16. See dealer for complete details.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. November is National Peanut Butter Lovers Month, declared by the Peanut Nation. The Southern Peanut Growers started the Peanut Butter Lovers Day on November